My name is Dale Brown. My age is 90. I was born 1933. I lived in Rocky Brook. Rocky Brook is a state of mind. It's a village, but it's mostly a state of mind. It starts where the corner of Kersey Road meets 108, goes up the hill to just north of the Rodman House up at Curtis Corner Road and Saugatucket Road where the police station is, and goes west to about almost St. Francis Cemetery. East it would be the pond by Peacedale School. So it's caught in between Kingston and Peacedale and Wakefield. I lived in Rocky Brook from about 4 years of age. And until I got out of until I graduated from URI and found a girl that would marry me and made the big move to Wakefield. I was older when I went. I had worked in the mill for 2 years, and then I went in the Marine Corps. So when I got out in '56, I started URI. I squeezed 4 years into 5, and it was a wonderful time. It was a great, outside of my marriage, it was the greatest time of my life, by far, by far. All my close friends are all college friends from my fraternity and a couple of the teams I was on. Yep, they're all my friends. New York, New Jersey, Rhode Island. I had one fraternity brother from South Kingstown, the rest were from away. Yep. South Kingston was very rural. You had Wakefield and Peacedale. Kingston was very little development outside the university. And at that time, the university, there was nothing below E.R. Hall. Breslau wasn't there, Breslau wasn't there, Butterfield wasn't there. Nothing down the hill was there, and a lot of them, basically the quadrangle, yeah. So the university was small. There were only 2,400 students when I graduated. Yeah. And, but the town was very rural. I mean, Mattoonic, West Kingston, Curtis Corner, you're out in the boondocks if you live there, yeah. Yeah. In fact, Mattoonic School, which I ended up teaching at also, was K to 8. They had 52 kids from K to 8. Yeah, there were very few kids out there. They're all farm kids. I taught physical education elementary. Yep, from 1965 till 93. Oh, I had a lot of favorite stories. I had the best job and the best, I've always said I had the best job and the best kids, ever. And when I taught, you could do things differently. You could take the kids off the property. We'd go ice skating. We'd go all morning. And it was ice then. We'd go all morning skating, 5th grade, and take all the 6th grade in the afternoon. Mattoonic, the kids stayed after school and rode horses. The lady next door had horses. They'd just get a note from their parents. They'd go ride the horses for free. Things have changed because the way lawsuits have come. No trampolines anymore, very little tumbling and stunts, gymnastics. Not done anymore at the school level. Everything is club. But it was a wonderful time to teach and a wonderful time to grow up. Yeah. The memory I remember the most was a Wednesday night at the community theater. And we were kids. And for 50 cents, you saw a full movie, then you had the news and a cartoon, and I don't know if you remember what a sing-along is. It was like a cartoon. You followed, the words came on the screen and you followed the bouncing ball. The ball went from one word to the next. Then they had amateur night. Anyone who wanted to perform on the stage got up. Bruno Zanella, who went to school with us, played the accordion. He always won because we cheered the loudest. Mrs. Barber sang opera. Bill Hazard used to tap dance, I remember. And then the final was Eddie Zach and the Hayloft Jamboree out of West Warwick. They were country western. It was like a 3-hour night for 50 cents. And it was a wonderful night. And we look forward to those Wednesdays. That was the memory that that, and, swimming in Old Mountain Field. That was the town beach at Old Mountain Field. We lived on URI was our playground. It was Rhode Island State College then, until 1950. And that was our play area. And the university also had showers in Rodman Hall. And people didn't have showers in the house in the 40s, unless you were wealthy. So we always went and we went up there and played ball all day, and then showered in the afternoon for half an hour. And it was never locked. We could go up, if the lights were out, we could go up there at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, turn the lights on and play ball. Take a shower, and no one bothered you.
That's awesome.
Old Coach Keeney was happy that we were there.
Because you played basketball in Rodman, or was that?
That was,
Edwards?
Rodman Hall was the university gymnasium at that time. Yep.
Wow.
That was the second gym. Lippert Hall was the first gym, upstairs on the 3rd floor. And then they built Rodman in 1928. Then Keeney opened in 1953. And then the Ryan Center in 2002, I think. I finally got out. They told me I had to leave at 61. Even if I was credit short, I was going. Yeah. But I said, URI was our playground. And they let nothing was closed. Buildings were never locked. And by the same token, no one ever did damage. No one broke anything or took anything. So they let it go. They allowed us there. I hope it becomes more, I don't know how it's going to, but I hope it becomes more affordable, because the kids growing up here are never going to be able to live here. They can't afford a house. They're not going to be able to afford property here. When I got married, I paid $16,500 for my house, and my house is still a beautiful house. My wife and I she was also teaching, Nancy. We made $14,000. We made 75% of what a house costs. So today, for a kid to buy a $600,000 house, which is very common, they're above 600. You should be making $450,000 to have the same proportion go to the housing. Ocean Road at that time, the first 2 years we lived on Ocean Road. When we left Ocean Road in '66, there were probably 5 houses on Ocean Road for sale. My friend's father bought the most expensive house on Ocean Road, the Turnberry Estate, for $30,000. It's still the biggest house on Ocean Road. 4 full stories, with a monstrous carriage house as big as the Peacedale office building. So the kids coming forward, I can't see them living here. Yeah. And a town without kids, it's not a town. One quick story.
Yeah, do you want to tell us one more?
Yeah.
The mill had a fence all the way around it. And it went 24 hours a day. There were 3 shifts. And the people went in there, and it was barbed wire on top of the fence. When the people went in, the gates were locked, padlocked. There was a gate here and a gate on the other side over across from the Growley's Market. There was a little store down here. Tom O'Brien had a little store across. He had lost 3 fingers in the mill. So his name was Thomas F. O'Brien. On the store was TF. Everyone called him 2 Fingers because it was TF. And if they wanted something to eat, they would lower a bucket out of the window at the mill. We'd run across. They'd write down what they wanted with the money. We'd bring it over to Tom. Tom's wife made sandwiches and the other stuff. We'd put it back in the bucket and they'd pull it up. But no, once they were in there, they were in there for 8 hours. Yep. 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 But everything in Peacedale were mill workers. Wakefield were the merchants, and yep. Yep. All the Italians lived in Peacedale. Probably 2 Italian families lived in Wakefield. Because the Italians were all mill workers, laborers, like my father. My father was English, but
It's amazing how it's mixed now, though, isn't it?
now it's all mixed up. Yeah. But the town is, you know, the town's changed a lot. It's still a beautiful town. Still a beautiful, and it's got a university in it, which makes a big difference. Yeah.
Excellent.
People complain about the kids. Kids are kids.